everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in today for this episode of The Travel Voice. With me today is Erin Buttler from G Adventures. She's the manager for BC, and I'm so excited because G Adventures is a company that I have been following since I started in the travel industry, a good old Canadian company, but with the title of being officially the largest adventure tour company in the world, which is so amazing. So tell us exactly who G is and how it came about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been with G Adventures now for 13 years, so it's also been kind of my bringing up in the travel industry as well.
Right.
So we're a Canadian company. We were founded back in 1990 by Bruce Poontip. It's kind of an interesting story where he managed to put together all the money that he could find on his credit cards to really max it out, because at the time adventure travel wasn't really a thing. It wasn't the biggest.
Back in the 90s for sure.
And now it's the fastest growing segment in the industry. So, I mean, now I'm sure it wouldn't be too much trouble to get financing for a business, but way back then.
Where did he start? It wasn't in the Galapagos Islands or something?
So it was, the company itself started doing tours into Central and South America first. I think the pipe dream was really to showcase something different than backpacking. So we kind of fell in between backpacking and a guided tour where there wasn't really anything available at the time for that. So at the heart of the company, you'll find Peru. So if you have the chance to travel with us to Peru,
which I did, and the Galapagos Islands, an amazing experience for me and my entire family. My kids and my husband loved it.
And your parents went too, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, so Peru is really the heart of our business. But so we've been evolving, we've been growing and changing since we began over 8 years ago now.
Right. So it started off really focusing on Peru, South America, like you say, and then tell us where you go now.
Oh my gosh, where don't we go is really the question.
That's the thing, and that's what I wanted to tell people about. Yeah. No matter where in the world you're looking for an adventure trip, G has something for you.
Yeah.
I want to kind of dispel a myth. I am not like the adventure-y backpacking type. Let's just clarify that. There is something for everybody and all different levels, whether you're really active or you're a little bit more low-key, whether you like comfortable or whether you're totally want to camp.
Yeah.
So maybe you can address some of the types and how the sizes.
Yeah, for sure. So with the group size, it's really small. So it's nice. You're never going to be on a big coach bus of 40 or 50 different people. Our average group size is just 12.
Which is perfect.
Nice. It's really nice for people that if you're kind of nervous about taking a group tour as well, it's not overwhelming going on these adventures. We have local guides in destination, and travelers are from all over the place. Yeah. In terms of how we organize, we've got some of the brochures here. In our main brochure, you'll find our classic adventures. Okay. So those are kind of like, local is a word that we use a lot at G Adventures. So we're staying in local accommodations. We travel on local transport. We've got local guides throughout. Okay. Within this brochure, though, you'll find 4 different levels of service. So we do camping trips.
Yes, you do.
But we've got some really...
You also do comfort for me.
So we've got some really nice kind of higher end. We call it adventure enhanced, actually. Or like adventure with the softer landing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like, and that's the thing, like the word adventure really can be something different for everyone. Right. So we have people that are traveling with us that want that backpacker feeling, but we also have people that are looking for adventure, but they want to stay in this like boutique property in Africa under the stars at the end of the day. So we have different styles, I guess, for different types of travelers.
Which is so great because there are people out there. I know my parents who are late 60s and my dad's in his early 70s. He was really nervous about doing when I said, we're going on a G adventure trip. And it was one of the best experiences of our life. Aww. He was comfortable.
Nice.
And it wasn't hardcore.
No.
So if you are a little bit nervous, do pick up some of those brochures. There's 5 in the entire series. These are just 3 of them. But let's talk about Nat Geo. That's really an interesting product.
Exciting.
Yeah, tell us about the relationship with Nat Geo.
So this is year 3 of our partnership with National Geographic, and it's kind of interesting how it came about. So when we were first in conversation with National Geographic, they found a lot of similarities in our core values and our kind of mission as a company, and that was one of the reasons why they chose to work with us.
It's fantastic.
So we're just absolutely honored because they're the biggest and most recognized travel company in the whole world.
Right. I've been reading National Geographic since I was like tiny
Yeah,
girl.
exactly. And everyone has that story. I
Mhm.
think for me, it was going to my grandfather's house and flipping through the magazines, and I'm pretty sure I destroyed all of those books because I was so excited
I'm
about all
with
the
you.
different places. And so for us, working with National Geographic is an absolute honor because we still think of ourselves as a small company, even though we're the world's largest, just because of the kind of how we treat our staff and how we treat our travelers that are coming along on these journeys. But with National Geographic, I mean, it's amazing. So in the National Geographic brochure, we have everything kind of that adventure enhanced.
Mhm.
So all the transfers are included, breakfast is taken care of. It's still really hands-on and an amazing experience for the traveler,
Right.
but they're going to be ending their days in a little bit more comfortable property at the, after their big
Perfect for
adventure
a lot
during
of
the day.
people.
Exactly.
Let's talk about some of the destinations that are quite popular at the moment.
Okay.
If you were to say 3 of the most popular right now, what would you say?
For sure. What's trending well with us right now, Morocco. We have
Right.
so many travelers. An exceptional number of Canadians actually going to Morocco right now.
I visited just about 18 months ago, one of the coolest trips I've ever been on.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah.
Did you go on a camel?
I did.
Yeah.
There's actually a picture on my Instagram of me on the camel.
And that's one of the experiences that our travelers have been raving about. So
Right.
the camel experience out into the Sahara.
Okay, so Morocco.
Cuba. Cuba's really popular with
Yeah.
our travelers too. As you know, it's really popular for Canadians, and I think that the way that we do Cuba is different. So even if you've been there multiple times, you
But most
probably haven't
have.
done it in the G Adventures way.
No, most people go and they sit in an
The
all-inclusive
beach.
resort, right,
Yeah.
in Veradero.
And so with our experiences, we're going in to really meet the locals. So we're staying in Casa Particulars, we're going to different plantations, we're getting our clients or travelers off the beaten path. And
Cool.
we also do sailing in Cuba. So, I mean,
Fun.
dreamy trip. I did that last May, and it was probably the most blissful 8 days I've ever had.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
So
Next one.
Morocco, Cuba, and Iceland. I mean,
Everyone wants to go to
everyone wants to go
Iceland.
there. I'm completely obsessed with it. I've been 5 times myself.
What?
And yeah, completely obsessed.
Lucky girl.
Very lucky.
That's what happens when you work in the travel industry.
Yeah.
I have a quick question though.
Sure.
What makes it better to do an adventure type trip with a company like G Adventures over
Yeah.
trying to go it yourself?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know how much time you have on your hands, but it takes a lot of time to plan your own vacations.
Right.
So, I mean, doing it with a small group means that someone's taking care of all the arrangements for you. So you get that added benefit of time. So once you get into destination, you don't have to flip through a guidebook or look through your notes to figure out where you're staying that night. We also have the local experience. So all of our guides are from destination. So they're going to be there
amazing.
along the way. They treat our travelers like their friends because it is a small group. So they're going to be taking them to kind of their favorite restaurants. You might even get to meet their family.
Right.
It's really boutique.
I think
really
people
fun.
need to realize that trying to do a trip like this
Mhm.
to get that local flair, to get that really authentic
Yeah.
experience, know the best restaurants,
Yeah.
to learn more from just a guidebook and a plaque on the wall, having that local person is absolutely key to a great holiday. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you would agree, but I think tour guides make or
They're
break
amazing.
a trip.
We have so many amazing
You have some of
guides
the
that
best
work
in the
with us.
business.
Yeah. We call them our chief experience officers.
I
they
love
have,
that.
like, a cute little name. And they've been recognized internationally with Wanderlust as one of the best guides on earth, which is pretty amazing.
I have to agree.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
I think the benefit of having a local guide too is all of the storytelling.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that National Geographic really recognized with G Adventures and how we're similar is that we focus on exploration for sure and adventure, but storytelling is really the heart of all of our experiences. So getting into destination, sure, you can read the book before you go, but it's totally different.
Totally
to get
different.
there. Yeah.
Before we go, I know we're running out of time.
Mhm.
If you had one trip that you would say is your favorite based on, say,
Oh,
all 5 of the
wow.
brochures and the hundreds and hundreds of trips that you offer,
Yeah.
what would it be?
It's hard to beat Antarctica. Like,
Right.
it
This is on my
sounds-
bucket list.
Oh.
Antarctica, going to Ushuaia, and then heading down by boat and seeing basically floating icebergs.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to travel there. I guess it was about 5 years ago now. And one of my colleagues is in Antarctica right now. So, of course, on his Instagram feed, I'm reliving all these memories from my experience at the bottom of the earth. And it's the most pristine environment that I've ever visited. And
It's like
you
less
fall
than
in love
point-
with penguins.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I hear less than 0.1% of the population will ever step foot in
Yeah,
Antarctica?
I think it's around about 27 or 28,000 people that visit every year. So it's not, it's all, I mean, it's a great one to put on your bucket list for sure, because it's the
Online.
seventh continent and it's so remote, big time traveler bragging rights.
Yeah, for sure.
And the team that we have, they're just amazing. So on our G expedition, our expedition leader, Susan 80, was actually honored last year with a piece of Antarctica being named after her. So there's 80 Inlet in Antarctica, which, I mean, I had the chance to meet Jane Goodall this year, and she's like one of my absolute heroes.
Okay, that has to be one of the top of the list too.
Yeah.
Okay, as you can tell, I could talk to Erin all day about travel. We're having her back for sure, but if you are interested in doing an adventure tour of any kind, anywhere in the world, make sure you pick up either one or all 5 of the G Adventure brochures. Thanks for tuning in.